Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Beyond Wano Bros Podcast. It's been a little bit. We haven't recorded in a little while, but we're finally back. We took a little break for Christmas, New Year's, stuff like that, and we were just trying to get on schedule. It was at the end of the year. We're all in college, so we just had to figure some stuff out. But we're glad we're able to give you our anime news this week. Fucking One Piece.
Oh,
What
yeah.
the hell? Austin finally caught up, so round of applause, right?
Not just to the anime, to the manga as well. So
Yes.
I'm like fully
That's actually
caught up.
crazy.
He went ham, to say the least.
Did it go up
He
a
went-
point in your rating or no?
What?
Did it go up a point in your ratings or no? That's the real question.
The manga is getting better. As I read more chapters, it's much more easier to like follow. So now I don't really have a hard time following, and like all the text is actually like pretty standard to me now. So I think the manga is like pretty good. I'd give the manga like 8.5, 9.
8.5, 9. Okay, all right. What is your anime scale? Because last night's episode
always
was
be
something
7.
different.
It's always gonna be 7 for him.
Yeah, it's still a 7. Like I understand like the new episodes look absolutely gorgeous, but at the same time, we're talking about the entire anime, which
Yeah,
I think is overall
enough.
as a overall piece of work a 7. And I think an anime like One Piece needs this kind of animation at the end because it's like such a monumental anime.
Final
So you want it
stretch.
to look the best. And its final like 3 to like 5 arcs probably.
3 arcs left. Well, 2 arcs technically.
Well, Egghead's near its butt end.
Yeah, it's 3 arcs. That's what he said. Saga.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of stuff going down. We saw Kuma's backstory. We saw what happened with Ginny. We saw what happened on God Valley. We saw partially about what's going on in Bard Valley. We didn't even see the whole thing. But last night's episode had me thinking about a lot of things, right? So in the manga, to me at least, I don't know if this guy's was clear to you, but it wasn't that clear to me because I guess I just wasn't reading it or seeing it correctly. But it wasn't like super sure that what Emu was doing was her exactly, right? And the anime kind of sort of less confirmed that it was more of a machine more than like a devil fruit or just powers in general.
For Bonnie, right? Correct.
No, for Emu.
Oh, yeah,
Night's
for Emo.
episode.
Oh, yeah.
Last night's episode, right?
Oh, yeah.
For
yeah,
the
yeah.
destruction of Leloucia, right?
So I think it was a little different in the manga. Am I wrong, RJ?
It was pretty much like they had the conversation. Well, they didn't have the conversation. You kind of see the conversation after in the manga, but kind of seeing it in the anime, they did kind of make it look very robotic. But to be fair, it is Mother Frame, which was Vegapunk convention.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I told you.
So-
I told
forgot
you,
about
Omar.
It
that.
really has nothing to do with Emu, but you can say like if you're an anime only, it would kind of catch you by the tail. But
It
would later
would.
you would later figure out with the meeting with the 5 elders and Emu that they were going to use Mother Frame to pretty much destroy Leloucia.
Yeah.
altogether.
That is definitely a detail I forgot. That is
Yeah, we were
definitely a
talking
detail I
before,
forgot.
and I told Omar that it's a weapon made by
He definitely
Vegapunk
said no.
because,
I literally said no.
because I believe in the next chapter after they blow up Leloucia, Vegapunk has like a monologue where he talks about the guilt he has about the weapons he created for the government and why he kind of has been trying to like stray away from them, and that's why he created Egghead, was to get away from the government so he didn't have to make such like powerful weapons for them anymore.
And that was the chapter where you see in the cover spread where he has a tank with the other old members of his scientific group, where it's like a tank shooting a flower. It kind of shows like the embodiment of how Vegapunk doesn't really want his inventions to be seen as some heinous or like villainous like use, but he's just making them in reality just progress technology.
I mean, because it is like very hypocritical to call like the pacifistas because pacifists
pacifists.
don't fight, but then the pacifistas just wreak havoc. So
Wreak havoc, yeah. That's fucking crazy. I agree to that. The one thing I guess I would have to say is, yeah, I completely forgot about the Mother Frame. Do we think it's like that straw hat we saw on Marishwa that one time? Because when you look in the clouds in the manga, I believe there was like a little outline to it.
There was no outline. There was like pixel density, which like some freaking nerd just picked out and thought it'd be a cool theory. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't believe in that crap.
You know what? There is a reason why they showed that straw hat, and honestly, it's
I think
probably
it
never.
was just I think it was homage or some type of foreshadowing for the old Joy Boy. Because I mean, we see the straw hat go down from Roger to Shanks to Luffy, and then we see it in the room with Emu, and Emu is obviously the big bad. So, and there was an 800 years ago, there was a void century where Joy Boy said lost to Emu. So, it only makes right for that straw hat to be Joy Boy's, and for Emu to be looking at Straw Hat Luffy's obvious bounty, kind of conjoining the two, looking at one, looking at the other, like shit.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Makes sense. I had another question. I don't know.
Well, did you want to talk about my take that I thought they could have done the Lucia a lot better?
Oh yeah. Let's hear why you think that.
Okay, so to me in the manga, it feels like it's it's literally blown off the map in like an instant, right? To me, when I watched like the anime one, like of course it looked great. I thought they did a great job, but I felt like something more like maybe like an Eminence in the Shadow atomic type blast,
Yeah.
where it's like one thing just comes down, and then the next thing you know, it's just an enormous blast, and it's just blown off the map. Because like for that, like because you're trying to make the weapon like super fear inducing. This is a weapon that in an instant can wipe off an entire island of probably hundreds of thousands of people. And when you do it the way they did it, where they're like all these different beams and stuff, and it's more like a Marvel movie, like Ultron coming to invade, or like an orbital strike hitting from like Advanced Warfare, than like a weapon of mass destruction. Like if you think of like a nuke hits and it just blasts
God.
everything, and that's like the fear of the nuke, is because it hits and you don't even have a second to react. Where like this, you have a second to react, and it's more like it just kind of was like cheesy, like almost like an alien invasion coming in to me. I mean, I thought it was like okay. I still liked it, and I also think one of the things that One Piece lacks compared to like a lot of modern anime is their sound design. I just think their sound effects are like very bland.
They are a little bit underwhelming, unless it's a really highly budgeted episode. That's how it usually is with Toei, at least.
Yeah, and I think that could take scenes to the extreme level of absolute, you know.
But I also want to say that I did not mind the I guess in like them kind of making that scene a little bit bigger, was because there was so much like emphasis surrounding how the hell did Sabo survive that whole attack. And I do agree. I think they should have made kind of like an atomic effect where it was like an instantaneous like crater created, but then there would have been like no space, and you would have had all these nerds like in the comments saying, "Oh, Sabo's faster, Sabo's faster, Sabo." It's like now it gives us a little bit of light on how Sabo actually survived. Now we're not gonna get a bunch of these like
Random.
Yeah, I mean,
theories.
they explain how he survived. Doesn't he explain how that he wasn't even there?
Yeah, he was like in the kingdom over, I believe, or like the island over, I think. And
I
they
know, but
traced
but
it.
I'm saying, but for animes only, it's
Mhm.
it's like the booger effect. It's like it just stays there, and then
Yeah.
you would have all these like nerds. I don't know. I wouldn't like it if they just made it instantaneous though. I think it was also good to see like Lucy actually get blown up, and not like 1 minute you have nothing and the next
One
minute
shot.
crater.
Essentially,
Like
one
it cuts
shot,
back to it, and there's just the hole,
Yeah,
you know, like or like when
thought
they're riding
yeah.
the waves like really high, like they just cut back to like where Lelucia was, and it was like Lelucia like 5 days later or something. It's just a big asshole.
It also makes I think Aim a little more like unfearful, because like they thought Sabo was there, but they dead ass missed their ops. Like they didn't even spin the block back. They completely missed their op. Like, I don't know. I think
They
I
like
think,
destroyed an island for
I think
essentially
Emu should
no
have an
reason.
ability where like they just like snap
Okay,
onto like
well-
people across.
Okay, so like not killing Sabo wasn't the only like thing that wasn't like the only reason why they killed Lucia, right? Because they wanted to kill it because it revolted against their king too. So then they used like the whole Sabo
They
kind
said
of
a scapegoat, yeah.
Yeah.
to be like that's why we destroyed it, because Sabo was there and he killed King Nefertari.
And they're
Oh, and
essentially
they're also
using
full of
it.
revolutionaries.
But they wanted to kill Sabo because Sabo saw everybody.
Yeah,
that was like the main like proposition. Like they saw like when Sabo saw them, they're like, hell no, we can't let this guy live.
Dude,
Yeah. But also don't forget, like the Gorosei and Imu went into the meeting with King Cobra after the fact, literally knowing that they were probably going to kill him.
like the five elders.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because at that point he saw Imu already.
Well,
and then he said
the
to
Grand
himself,
Elders. Well, the Grand Elders didn't know that Ian was gonna pull up. They literally were like, "Oh, Ian, what are you doing here?" Like,
that's true. Yeah.
And then they started talking about the Nefertaris, and then told him how they were a D.
I think that's why they were gonna kill him either way, because he was gonna bring up what's her, Lily.
No, I know, but I don't think that they didn't even realize that Ian was gonna be there.
Yeah, I know. In the manga, she pulls up and they're like, "Oh, Lord Emu," and then Nefertari's like, "Who the hell is that? Why is she sitting on the chair?"
I guess then I have a question, right? So I put up a banner before saying, is Emu an alien? Because Austin kind of said this keyword that I was kind of fixated on. Is Emu an alien? Is she something like outside of this world? Or is Emu Nefertari D. Lily? What's more likely? Let's go.
I don't think she's either. Yeah. I don't think Emu is a girl. I think Emu is a guy.
I think it might be either or.
I think people kind of assimilate Eam with a more like female name, and I really don't think Oda's gonna make the last big and bad woman. Although I do not mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be more of like this ancient dude who kind of like was with the original Joey Boy,
right?
And they're gonna do some shonen trope out of it. I already know it's One Piece.
Yeah, I was gonna say it could be like a Lunarian who infiltrated the world government in the 20 kings to still hold power after his people like got wiped out.
What's the Planet of the Apes shit?
I mean, like, cause he's like super tall. Or,
King
like,
Caesar.
They're super tall.
Yeah, but almost everybody in the One Piece world is super tall. It's like
maybe it's like Aokiji in disguise.
Imagine it's just Aokiji just walking around.
You just did an Omar theory at us.
He threw an Omar theory, exactly. But I did have a different theory I wanted to go over. This is a kind of a big theory. I had you guys kind of watch the videos on both of them. This was based on Joy Boy Theories. He came out with this video not too long ago. This one was titled "This feels like a One Piece spoiler," right? And it goes back to what Austin said about the government that we currently have today. Well, I'm gonna start it like this because I have everything in order. The government that we have created today was the past Revolutionary Army. What do you guys think of that?
I mean, it's like definitely possible.
Well, I think that's also like the big like mantra in One Piece. It's kind of like you see like it doesn't have to just be like revolution. It doesn't have to be like past and present. It's kind of like you see father and son. It's very checkered fate with everything.
Yeah.
So it's like what One Piece kind of follows like if you don't have power and you see people in power, you're going to take down that power, but you're never going to become that power as well. So I also believe that theory in which I believe that the world government used to be the Revolutionary Army of the past, but has become corrupted because power corrupts people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you have like the clause in between the Marines. It's kind of like you have one section which is like sword, and then you have another section which are just completely corrupt people.
Exactly. Yeah. That's kind of the first point that I was like, damn, I have to write this down because this is definitely something, that in particular. History always repeats itself. Like that's clear in One Piece. It's not exactly distant. But the one thing that Austin said about Lunarians infiltrating is where I think that stemmed from my theory when I explained it to you, to be completely honest.
Well, I watched a video last night, so I kind of had it on my mind.
Okay.
And I kind of felt that like the video, like the theory, I guess, was like it just seemed like Dressrosa. Like he just took Dressrosa to the whole story because he's like history repeats itself, like the old Revolutionary Army, and you have like the king's family that Doflamingo took over, and then he's toppled by that same king's family who comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like he kind of just took like the Dressrosa arc and just
he did
put it to the whole story. I
also don't really mind that though because Oda reuses arcs time and time again. Like King gets overthrown, just look at Alabasta. Look at Dressrosa. Look at Sky Island.
If you want to put it
Look
like
at
this,
every arc.
yeah.
The guy has a king that gets like taken over it, and then Luffy has to just become bigger, better, and better in order to beat that guy. So that's just how it is.
If you want to think about it like this, think about it like Alabasta being more or less like the
Carpet setter.
I wouldn't say carpet setter, but I would
lays the
definitely.
groundwork.
Well, I'm thinking of a more specific example, right? I'm thinking it's more Alabasta is shown to represent the Void Century, and Dressrosa is shown to be more of this current century. So we have Doflamingo who stood at the top. Nobody really knew he was standing at the top. They just thought he was a warlord. And then or no, he was the ruler of Dressrosa. Everybody knew that, but that I guess that was the main difference that he listed in the anime.
Well, like the behind the scenes stuff they don't know about. Like
Yeah.
People don't even know about the five elders really.
No, not really.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like Eam is like this insanely shadowy figure, and I don't think like watching that video, I don't think comparing it to Dressrosa is also kind of like sound like I don't think it really compares to Dressrosa just for the fact that Eam is super behind the scenes compared to even Dofi or even Alabasta for that matter.
Yeah, no, you know what, that makes sense, and I agree with that. So I want to.
Is there though?
Yeah, I want to get your opinions on this one. So the next point he kind of listed was the Lunarians ruled the world as the government leaders, living on the red line, and then essentially the 20 kingdoms came and took them down. They were too hostile to be their leaders, or something along the lines of they were too oppressive and too bad natured. So the 20 kingdoms, along together with Joy Boy, defeated that Lunarian race on top of the red line.
I'm not really one with that theory, to be fair, because we like saw time and time again that the Lunarians were kind of like not the god of people, but they lived on top of the red line. They weren't out to like to seem like they were evil people. I really do think that the Revolutionary Army just feared their power, like kind of like a Black Clover situation with the elves.
Yeah, that's
really what I compared. That's really what I compared it to. And I kind of think that the whole world revolted around them in fear and not necessarily like. Okay, so you know like how where they were given magic in Black Clover and they pretty much beat the elves that way.
Mm-hmm.
And the elves kind of like got killed by extra normal powers. I kind of think that happened within One Piece with Devil Fruits. I think Devil Fruits weren't a thing, and Lunarians were just kind of like the top brass. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that the Revolutionary Army who took over that were given this power, like extra normal. Like they didn't have this automatically. Mm-hmm. And I believe that, I guess, old Joy Boy and his I guess whatever his crew is, kind of trying to fight that power. But I really don't think Devil Fruits were a thing. So I don't think Lunarians would rule the world all that much without Devil Fruits, like Definitely. In place for other people. I really don't think so.
I mean,
I agree. I think on RJ's point, you can just simply look at the events that transpire after the Lunarians are taken out. It's almost like the world then becomes more like conscious of people who have maybe higher physical strength than normal humans, like the Buccaneers and stuff, and they simply just go and take those people out so they aren't a threat in the future. So they probably did that same thing to the Lunarians at first because they're the biggest threat to them, and they didn't want them to like, you know, take out humanity or something if they ever felt the need to go like attack them. So then they just decided, okay, if we find a race of people who have like higher physical capabilities than us, are stronger than us, then we're going to take them out so they aren't a threat in the future. And they take that like sentiment, not even just through races, like Law's country, when there's a disease, they just absolutely just decimate it because they don't want that getting out. They don't want people to get weaker and stuff. So they'll take like the bigger loss for what they think is the greater good in the long run.
And that's another sense of absolute justice. And I think that's why people like Akainu are very corrupted. It's not because not necessarily they're horrible human beings, it's that they've kind of been dealt with this card of absolute justice, so they believe that like like Austin just said, the lesser good is really the greater. I mean, the lesser good is really the greater bad. Like
Yeah.
they don't understand that. Like him blowing up, him calling the Buster call on O'Hara was completely uncalled for. Like they could have went in there and just took in all the books, took in everything, blah blah blah. Aokiji didn't want to blow that whole place up, but in Akainu's mind, whatever the world government says, since he's a fanboy, it goes. He believes that's justice.
Yeah, he definitely had a rough childhood. Kind of.
I think something with pirates.
Yeah, no, I think yeah, definitely. I think something along the lines of pirates probably wiping his village out. Like that makes complete sense. I would see why.
Well, and you see how they act when they don't complete the mission, in my opinion, because look at how hard they've tried to get Nico Robin through every single arc. And is Nico Robin really the greatest threat on the Straw Hat crew right now?
It's just because of what she knows.
Exactly. And if that gets out and if they find the final like road poneglyph, like that's why they're so hell bent on like getting her so they can like stop people from
Yeah. I think she is the key to the last poneglyph, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I think
it's someone on Elbaf. I think someone from Elbaf has the final road poneglyph. Like a
I really
giant.
hope not. I do not want to go to Elbaf.
So what?
I'm not a big fan of the Giants, being honest. Rocky and Gorgie, cool guys, but nah, I'm good.
They made their reappearance.
I think there's going to be.
episodes?
I think it's not going to be a war chapter, right? I think everybody's expecting it to be like this war chapter, and everybody's expecting them to be this like mongrel. Fucking what's it called? What was the name of that Thor movie?
Ragnarok.
Yes, everybody wants it to be like Ragnarok, right? Everybody wants it to
Elbaf
be.
will be like a reuniting arc, I think, because
That's
Shanks
what I'm
is there.
saying. That's what I'm saying, right?
Well, Shanks left already.
That too.
And then didn't he off-screen kid too? Which
Shanks and Blackbeard next.
Nah, he one-tapped Kid. He didn't off-screen him. He one-tapped him.
Yeah, which I read the manga. I was like, that's it? That's the whole fight? What the hell?
Yeah.
Didn't even use Conqueror's Hockey, by the way.
Wow. No, yes, he did. He used that slash. I thought that was encoded with Conquerors.
It wasn't, unless it was black.
It wasn't black. It was
Exactly. If it's not black flash, then it's not Conqueror's Hockey. Yeah.
Wasn't it like red or something?
That's the color of Conqueror.
No, I know, but I think it was white. Like I think I'd just like put black and then white on the inside.
We'll see what happens in the anime. I feel like
I'm not gonna be one of those nerds. I'll just let it sit.
But I did want to ask you guys about the current state of the Straw Hats, where we're kind of at right now. So you guys mentioned absolute justice. You guys were mentioning justice in the sense of people now there's kind of separation with the sword and the world government and stuff like that. So I guess my next question here is, what's up with fucking Kizaru?
Oh boy, feeding Luffy.
Yeah, essentially.
Luffy's about to be like, join my crew.
Join my crew. I honestly don't.
I love those memes. Either. Join my crew. They're like the most stupidest human being on the planet, like on a Twitter post.
Join my crew.
And you'll see like a Luffy PFP underneath, like join my crew.
But yeah, is it to the level of nah, I'd win?
Yeah, that was like the original nah, I'd win, where you would just see like a blue Luffy, and it would just say under it, just say join my crew.
Bro, I'm filled up with the Goku profile pictures, commenting on
Goku profile pictures.
It was gonna be a really fucked up joke. Okay, I'm gonna say it.
What like
Goku going under cancer patients and saying, "Hi, you just beat cancer. You're so strong."
Oh,
yeah.
I saw one about transitioning.
Let's fight.
I thought was funny.
I saw that one. It's like, wait, you transform from a man to a woman? You must be so strong.
Let's fight.
You wanna fight? I'm like, bruh.
I wonder if he sees that. Would he want to fight Ivankov if that was the case? Like, I want to see what that. He's like, nah, fuck Dragon. He doesn't do shit. This guy right here, he turns from a man to a woman within an instant. I want to fight him.
Yeah, Ivankov's the meta.
Ivankov is the meta.
She's the meta right now. Well, it's the meta.
There is this theory online saying something. I think it was by O'Hara, and it was what if Ivankov got Kaido's fruit and Kaido's fruit got Ivankov's fruit.
I think Kaido would have been was Conqueror hockeyed.
female, not female.
You can't call it a
like,
female. You don't know what
Androgynous person.
They,
Yeah,
them,
non-binary human.
non-binary, they, them, is something, Caesar or something like that.
Kaido would go by him, just him, because he's him.
Oh man.
With your Kizaru point though, I think he's just kind of getting to that Aokiji point where I think he's seeing the tides
I think
shift.
he's at his breaking point.
And because like, aren't they on the boat? He kind of like implies like, why am I even here? Like, what's the point? Like, you're here. You're a 5 elder. Why am I even here?
Well, that could be chalked up to Kizaru just straight up being lazy. Because we've seen like he's peak laziness.
But I also
right?
don't think that the 5 elders are really as strong as people put them out to be. I really don't think so.
I don't
like,
know, man.
They look strong,
I don't know, man.
And they like be blowing off heads. But yo, if you tell me right now that the Gear 5 Luffy that beat Kaido cannot beat a 5 elder, I'll be really mad. Seriously.
I just think we need more information on their
Kaido
power.
Kaido was said to be the strongest creature in the world. Right? And Kizaru is not very, very far. I put him way below, but Luffy didn't have food. Let's be honest. Luffy
Let's be honest, because
fighting Kizaru.
If they were
that's like an energy source for Luffy.
Yeah, if they were able to keep Kaido in prison, I would say that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm agreeing with you. Like, if they were to keep Kaido in prison, I would say that. But they were never able to keep Kaido in prison. He escaped like 26 fucking times. Like
16.
Huh?
16.
16, sorry.
I think it was like 16 times, pretty sure.
Something like that. But regardless, it was if they were able to keep Kaido in prison, maybe we could make that point, but now it's just like
he just went to prison for food.
Literally.
That's the only reason.
Yeah. I also don't like how they did the Kaido and King kind of talking. Why do I feel like there is so much taken out of that?
There wasn't. Go back to the manga.
I know. I just feel
they
like
made it short for a reason. It's because people said that the Luffy and Kaido fight was taking way too long. I mean, let's be honest, it took a year.
Yeah, I could see that.
But it's also like how they slowed the pacing down even more with slow-mo this episode.
They slowed everything down even more. I think that was necessary.
One piece better put the bitch up.
You see the freaking like iPhone going across the room, just recording Emu from the side. It's the same perspective, same video. It just keeps going around and around. And then the fact that they were doing that shit with the butterfly, that was crazy. That made me think of something. That made me think like, I don't know. That made me think of something weird. I don't know if I like that. Because
what? You can tell us,
right? You know how they like did that little flickering thing with the butterfly, like on and off with the light and the dark stuff.
Yeah.
Why do I know it probably means absolutely nothing, and it was probably just there for dramatic effect. But what if it's like we're quite literally entering a new reality, and there's no knowledge of the Lugia Kingdom anymore from anybody? No textbook, no nothing, no this, no that.
But everyone still knows about Lugia.
Yeah, I guess we have to see, right? I mean, I again, I'm just talking out of my ass, right?
No one knows about God like this was 50 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking out of my ass, but it's just like the fact that they were doing that shit with the little butterfly, it threw me for a loop because I was going crazy because it looked awesome, but like that was so unnecessary.
Well, I mean, I guess you could be sort of right. Like, we don't absolutely know all the powers of the 5 elders. Like, we don't even know Saturn's, even though he's fighting right now. Like, we just see his transformed form, and we know that it's something that stops people from moving in a way. So maybe it's like erasing the memory of Leloucia from like newborns, like new people born to the world after this moment will never know Leloucia.
Yeah, but then people just tell them.
Well, maybe they can't hear Leloucia. That's the one word they can't hear.
Lucia.
We're going Omar theory here.
On some like Bleach stuff where you can't like hear a name because it's like forbidden. It's like taboo.
Yeah,
that's so weird.
Do you ever hear like people like outside of when like Nico Robbins there talk about O'Hara like just openly?
I mean, not really. No.
All right, I did want to kind of say like I did want to kind of continue the freaking theory, but when I look at this, it's so long. But I did want to state.
Pause.
I did want to state my personal opinion listening to this theory like 27 minutes in.
Milk.
Because thank you. Because like I thought it was because this guy Joy Boy Theories was kind of talking about like parallels all throughout the story and stuff like that, and obviously there's a lot of parallels. And he kept like insinuating that there was going to be a Blackbeard parallel, but he also never stated who that Blackbeard parallel could be.
Eam.
And I'm saying it's Eam, right? I'm saying it's Emu.
Well, I think Rox and Blackbeard are kind of parallels, even though Rox isn't here anymore. I feel like
I don't
Eam
know.
is easy to say, but I also think Eam is connected to Shanks.
Well, hear my reasoning.
1,000 million bajillion gadillion %.
Right. So like hear my reasoning.
She got
I think
ignored or something.
I think Emu was originally a companion and follower of Joy Boy. However, wanted Joy Boy's position as king and grew like jealous. In some very twisted way, Emo is led to believe that Joy Boy gave them this position, but he became too corrupt, but they became too corrupt, and which led to them doing what they did, like doing what they do throughout history. Right? We see them wipe out islands, wipe out whole civilizations, and even like I don't even know if this has to do with Emo directly, but what up with the slaves? Like, what is that all about? Is that just celestial dragons, or is that?
I
like,
think
Emu?
I think it's a byproduct of whatever's going on. So you have Emu controlling at the top, and he or she gives these people a lot of leverage and lenience. So I think these people just create that out of a byproduct of what they're given. If they're given all the money in the world and they're given absolutely nothing but leverage, they're obviously going to buy slave. Like it's just power and corruptness. Do I think
Yeah.
Emu has slaves? Who knows? Who cares? It's One Piece.
I mean, the wives are in there.
But I believe that
Wives.
it's a byproduct of just leverage and power.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Well, let me actually say this too, because I just thought of this. I thought of this right now, and I'm still like gathering my thoughts to say this. It's like Blackbeard. Think of Emu, the Gorosei, and think of everything like maybe Whitebeard's crew. And oh no, I'm sorry. Think of Joy Boy's crew. I'm sorry, I misspoke heavily. Think of Joy Boy's crew as Whitebeard's crew. They were a whole family. They're like Whitebeard.
Oh, I do.
referred to them
Yeah, I
as
get
his
that. And
sons and stuff like
Blackbeard
that.
doing that BS. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Blackbeard stabbing him in the back, and that stab in the back was Emu.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think that happened. What do you think, everybody else? Austin, what do you think?
I
I
think
didn't.
that-
I don't know. I watched the video, and some of the parallels just didn't really.
Yeah,
Click
that's
with
exactly
me.
why I listed
The only parallel I do see in between that whole like Whitebeard family crew gathering thing is that I do think Emu isn't a direct parallel to Blackbeard. I do think the one thing they do have in common is the moon and Luffy being the sun and Joy Boy being the sun.
Yeah.
I think when Whitebeard kind of realized that Luffy was the one that Roger was really waiting for during Marineford, I think it was like a complete like parallel between Luffy being the sun and Blackbeard being the moon. Blackbeard taking out Whitebeard, who was just like his former companion and leader. And I think that Eam maybe doing that to Joy Boy could have been like the moon, and Joy Boy could have been the sun. So I think Luffy taking down Emu after Blackbeard's taken down, I think is the complete like final chapter of the story where it's kind of like I completed whatever you couldn't complete. There you go. That's why I think that Emu and Blackbeard aren't complete parallels, but their meaning is parallel. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
no,
Rock's.
I get it.
I think the same way Roger got the shot from somebody else who probably admired Joy Boy, Rox probably had his whole life planned out by someone or himself who admired Eam. And I think he wanted Eam's position because he wanted to take over the world and destroy the world.
Okay. I can agree with that completely, wholeheartedly. Hand and fist.
Going off of One Piece.
Hold my hand.
Solo leveling.
Everything. Oh, solo leveling. You guys can talk about that. I still have yet to see it.
I don't think we should. I think Austin should give like a rough summary.
Yeah, give us a rough summary because I still have yet to see it, and I do want to see it, and I just genuinely have not have time.
Okay, so basically, it's kind of. Oh, you guys haven't seen World Trigger, but it's like World Trigger, where
Kind of high school.
yeah, it's like a manhwa, so it's based off like Korean manga, basically.
Well,
And so you have this guy, I forget his name, what, Sunwoo? or
I
Jinwoo.
Jin Mori is
Jinwoo.
so I think Sunwoo. Is it Jinwoo?
Yeah, Jinwoo Sung. So I just put all his whole name together. So this
There you
Jinwoo guy is basically like an E rank. So in this world where there's
Very
these
fun.
gates that
He's
open,
bottom of the brass.
yeah, that these like hunters have to go in and like defeat. It's like S to E rank, and he's an E rank, and he's on this party basically in the first episode, and everyone like loves the guy, even though he sucks. Okay, like we'll be honest, he sucks. Like he almost died in the first episode, but they have healers, so they go into this like D rank dungeon or cave, and they defeat it, and then there's another cave in the cave, which is weird, and they're supposed to like contact like the Hunter Association basically, and so then they go down into the cave because they do like a vote, and this Jin Woo guy's like the final say, and he's like, you know, he get a little bit of his backstory of why he does it, even though he's an E rank, why he works so hard. You know, he wants to keep his mom alive. His dad died as a hunter, and his sister, he wants to put his sister in college. So he's like, I need this money because if you defeat the monsters and you take out all these crystals that they drop, you get money for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they go into this cave, and they get to this like big door. And then they open this door, and it's full of like all these statues, and they're kind of like looking there, and then they start reading the plaque, and the plaque's like either you like revere the god in this room, or if you try to leave and don't revere the god, you're just gonna get like killed. So then the door shuts. One of the guys is like, I'm leaving out of here, you know, the sacrificial pawn type shit, and he gets absolutely mollywopped by the statue. And then there's one huge statue in the room, and his homegirl, Jinwoo's homegirl, what's her name? She might be Jung Soo. What's her name?
That's funny.
Jinna maybe, or I don't know. It's the chick. It's the chick healer who is clearly has a crush on him. I think she's like, hey, the eyes just looked at me on the big statue.
She cooked.
And then all shit hell loose. Fucking the big statue shoots fucking like molten lava lasers out of its eyes. It like wipes out half the party.
Oh,
and they didn't put the smile in. I know about the smile. So the smile's coming next episode. But overall, like it's pretty. The animation was great. It looks good for a manhwa adaptation. The issue with manhwa adaptations are they have some of the worst pacing ever. Every single manhwa has terrible pacing. Not the manhwa itself, but like the anime adaptations. That's why things like God of High School don't have second seasons because they don't know how to pace it.
Actually, it's coming out 2024.
Supposedly.
No, they're already doing production for God of High School.
I've heard that God of High School season 2 is coming out like after I watched it when it came out, and that was what, like 4 years ago?
I love God of High School. I think the first episode of God of High School is better than Solo Leveling.
Oh, I love God of High School too.
My boy Jin Mori is the GOAT. Stop playing with him.
They do, but like if you watch God of High School, you can definitely see where like you're kind of almost like you're like, whoa, like how the hell we get here?
Like 1 second Davy's at the bar, and the next second his best friend's dead. The next second he's beating the shit out of his friend. The next second him and Jin Mori are fighting. It's like this 10 episode stunt was made into one episode.
Yeah,
damn.
It's because the chapters are like hard to adapt.
Yeah.
Okay, so think of like a season of like One Piece, like an arc, right? How many chapters was Marineford?
What? All of Marineford, probably 50 or 60.
And that was over like what, like 50 episodes?
Ooh, I got it, RJ. That
31 chapters. I think I'm including the post Marineford stunt or Impel Down. I think it's just 31 chapters in all of Marineford.
And that
was probably done in like 50 episodes.
Yeah, and like God of High School was like
5 episodes.
100 in like 95 chapters in 12 episodes.
Yeah, that's probably what.
Like,
but some animes do it
ridiculous.
Good. Like if it's a slice of life or a seinen, like they could do it like this, like Lickety Split. But for shonen, it's not even shonen technically. But for like manhwa like that, like you can't really adapt it. Like if it's like freaking Rent a Girlfriend, I guess you could do it. Because who cares about Rent a Girlfriend?
Oh Lord, Rent a Girlfriend.
Austin's about to get triggered.
I knew a
Nah.
couple people that Rent a Girlfriend was their favorite anime. I'm not even talking about you, Austin. I'm talking about other people.
Favorite anime is crazy. That's
favorite
like
anime is crazy.
that's like eating a bag of shit and not knowing there's other food in the world. That's bad.
Like you met these people in real life? Or
Not
like,
in real life. I met
Good.
him like just talking to him.
50-50 proximity.
He said
please.
good. He said good.
Yeah,
50-50
like I.
proximity, please.
Yeah. I
That's
Dress
on
Up
the
Darling
same
is
level.
Dress Up Darling is so much better than Rent a Girlfriend on every level.
It
It's
is.
insane.
To me, that's on the same level as someone who thinks Demon Slayer is like their favorite, like the best anime, or, like
Yeah.
their favorite anime. Because I just look at them and like, have you watched other shows? Like,
Have you
Yeah,
watched
average-
that?
it looks good.
Demon
Have you
Slayer,
done that?
The average Demon Slayer enjoyer is like, ooh, bright sword. Wow.
They say, "Ooh, nice animation, bro." The story,
but then they won't watch Fate. And Fate is I think is a better series than Demon Slayer.
100%.
yeah.
And has as good animation, even better. It's the same studio group.
I'm sure. I mean, I feel like that's probably like less known than Demon Slayer. Obviously, I haven't heard
Fate?
of Fate. I haven't heard of Fate.
You've never heard of Fate?
Mm,
Go watch Fate. It's insane animation.
yeah, I gotta watch it still.
And it's actually a good story.
All right, good. Better be because I won't.
Well, it
watch
depends
if
what
it's
Fate
not
you
a good
watch.
story. Huh?
There's
What,
different
Fate?
Fates.
Yeah,
Okay, then
there's like
give
a
me the
certain watch order.
specific one, and then
It's
I'll.
kind of like Monogatari. It's kind of like the Monogatari show, where it's like it's weird. You have to like search chronological order and watch that.
Yeah, there's like movies and there's seasonal anime and
They do it kind of like what Demon Slayer does. I mean, it's the same studio group, so
yeah.
it's
But-
UFO table.
Other manga was I think I'm gonna pronounce it right. Noblesse. I watched.
Yeah, I've heard of Noble S.
That was another one that like.
Wait, they made
the
an anime
pacing
adaptation
was-
for that?
Yeah,
Is it on
The-
Crunchy?
I believe
Wait.
so. I remember I watched it on one of those sites,
Let me see. That's weird. No.
but I mean the pacing
Yeah.
was super fast for that. I'm trying to think if I had watched any other. Oh, Tower of
Yeah.
God was like a really good one though.
Tower God is banging.
And season 2 comes out, I believe, in the spring this year.
People actually really do like Noble S though.
I gotta see when that comes. I think it
Has
comes
a
out in the spring.
4.9 rating or 4.6 rating, 12.7K.
Yeah, but it has like a 6.8 on my anime list because the pacing's like bad.
Well, because my anime list is a bunch of nerds, so they put like, dude, like,
They load
What are you
that.
trying to
Favorite comes
say?
out like really like 10, number 1. Are you kidding me?
So you think Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood's better than Frieren?
Yeah. What the fuck?
Oh my god, it's
Dude.
not. It is so
Dude, come on.
bad.
Come on.
I don't
That's
care about the
great. Love
how
show. The
it's
show
blurred.
sucks. The show
Love how it's
sucks.
blurred.
5 out of 10
For
show.
reasons. Yeah,
5
you're
out of
dumb. If you think Full Metal Alchemist is not worse. If you think Favorite's better than Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, you're crazy. And I think there's a mob of like people that believe that way more. Than
It's not
Favorite's
just
better.
Frieren. There's so many more anime that are better than Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh no, I don't
Brotherhood.
think Full Metal Alchemist is the best. But saying Favorite's better is like insane.
I've seen
like-
clips. It looks like the animation's
Clips.
amazing.
You've seen clips. You haven't seen it.
Yeah.
You've seen clips like Bleach. Like
I watch
people-
like 10
this-
anime
this
a
is-
season,
this
man.
is
Give me a
exactly
break.
This exactly what gets me pissed off is that people who crap on Bleach do not realize Jujutsu Kaisen is a fucking reskin of Bleach. It's just a reskin. It's reskinned, reanimated.
Yeah, that
Bleach.
you're talking to
That's
me
all
now
it
too.
Is JJK Gege has said it time and time again that
Gege.
Bleach
Geji?
It's Gege Akatami who created
I thought it
JJK.
Yeah,
That
get it right,
Bleach
Omar.
is his inspiration
Geji.
for Jujutsu Kaisen. People will give Bleach so much shit when Jujutsu Kaisen exists, and then they jerk off Jujutsu Kaisen like it's the best thing in the world when it's Bleach reskin.
Didn't you see the animation, RJ?
Of
That's
what?
why people dick suck. Like the
JJK has a
JJK.
great story. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but a
JJK
lot of
story is
people they
great.
always focus on the animation, especially
Dude.
season 2.
JJK had a chokehold on freaking nerds for like 6 to 8 weeks from Gojo versus Sukuna.
That's true, and I feel like people would still tune in to the Shibuya arc if it wasn't as greatly
Studio Pierrot
animated.
could have done it. Should have been banging. JJK has a great story.
Yeah.
Great
Not
villain.
Studio
Great side
Pierrot, please.
No, but it's
Studio
true.
Pierrot.
Like
Oh, the
you
fucking
can't-
Naruto episodes! Don't even
even
get me
if
started
JJK
with
had
that shit.
Boruto animation, I think people would watch it. Like, hello, people watch Dragon Ball Super for a reason. Like,
Ugh, Dragon
Dog.
Ball. Gross.
That's what I'm saying. I think Bleach. If people give so much crap to Bleach, it's JJK is just Bleach. JJK is literally Bleach.
I want to watch Bleach coming up since I've watched One Piece and Naruto now.
Bleach is so good. I love
So,
Bleach.
I think it's only what is it? The main series before 1,000 Year is
What happened to the
like
Naruto
300 episodes?
320, but in reality, it's like 240 if you take out all the filler because remember it's Studio Pierrot.
So
So
you do that in like a
Yo,
3
speaking
month
of
time,
Studio Pierrot,
yeah, I think you would like it. It's literally JJK. Like you have this character who is I can't even say that because you don't understand that in JJK yet. If you're an anime only,
I am.
Right.
damn. So I can't even say that.
Damn.
Let's just say Ichigo and kind of Yuji kind of have like the same background in which like they're not just themselves.
Damn.
And then the outside, it's weird.
Yo, what do you guys think happened to those?
The
Naruto
trash
episodes?
shows ass.
What happened to the Naruto episodes, y'all? Studio Pierrot said it would be coming out at the end of the year, and then it never came.
I think they just lost budgeting, bro. Like all these other studios are kind of like mollywop on them right now.
That's true.
Let's be honest. Like even Toei's doing great, Map is doing great, UFO Table's doing great. When have you heard a good project come out of Studio Pierrot?
Naruto. That was the last time.
Except for like Bleach, but like they put all their budget into Bleach. I think that was the issue. Bleach looks insanely good.
Good.
And everyone was like, yo, hold on, do they have anything in the bank for the Naruto episodes? And then boom, delayed.
Nothing.
Well, and if they don't, okay,
Nothing.
and the thing too is if they don't release it last year, how can they release it this year? It's for the 20th anniversary. Like it's kind of weird if you
Exactly.
release it in like at the end of
I think it's an
2024,
indefinite project.
2025. Like I just don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think so either. I think what really happened is what people leaked the episodes and then they caught feelings about it and they just like didn't release it.
But I also think that there's a lot of like annoyance in the back of their heads because I think a lot of people just want a new Black Clover season.
Yeah, right. Like that's all we want. We don't really need a
And
release.
when they give like that half-ass statement, like, "Oh, well, we have Bleach going on right now," or kind of like our hands are full. Like we'll get to it after the cores are done. Like that's kind of stupid. Like
give it to Mappa, they'll do it.
nah, fuck Mappa and Black Clover. Hell no, that would not work. That would not
I
work.
know, I
They'll
know.
turn
They'll ruin the
more
anime.
shit.
They'll
They'll
ruin
turn
the
that shit
anime.
into Attack on Titan. I think Wit Studios did Attack on Titan so much better than
Yeah,
Mappa could. Mappa is just too franchised.
I agree.
Mappa has good animation. That's why I say like, bro, sometimes like when Sukuna's up close or Yuji's up close, they look like pixel art 3D. Like they don't even look that good. Like the thing about Wit Studios that they added so much individual characteristics. Like when Aaron pulled up, like it was Aaron. Like you would see like the facial structures. You would see like subtleness on the face. Like it's just great animation. When you use Studio Mappa for JJK, like you've seen it too. Like when Sukuna or like Yuji or a character walks up to the screen, it just looks like animation. There's nothing like crazy to it. It looks like a franchise like food chain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone looks
No,
the same
true.
from behind.
That's
Besides
what I'm
their
saying,
hair.
yeah.
Like that's how you tell people from apart is their hair.
I don't know. I think there was something different with studios.
Yeah.
Even UFO Table does the same shit. Like it just feels like franchise animation. It's insanely good for like the FX, but like up close shots of people, unless it's like crazy episode, they're not gonna do something crazy. They're gonna look like a bland anime character.
It's UFO table, not UFO table.
I always say UFO Table because it sounds cooler. UFOtable.
What about like Silverlink? Do you think Silverlink could do Black Clover?
I don't know. I think superheroes are the only ones that pretty much do it.
What about
They're
like
used to like that
Bones?
style. Bones would be cool. Okay, that actually would be cool.
'Cause
Actually,
Bones
I
is-
think UFO Table could do Black Clover. They're used to doing stuff like that with like Fate and Demon Slayer.
Yeah, and I
Mappa,
think the
no.
ability. I mean, with the abilities coming up in the manga with the fights coming
Yeah.
up, like Dante
UFO Table is
versus
perfect.
Magna would go hard with the UFO
Magna
table.
bitch, not Rocco Magna. He's Lug's son. Nah, but
that new chapter came out. And it was very short for the long wait that we had, in my opinion.
yeah, for a 6-month manga almost.
I was like, is this it? Like we saw one move. Like maybe like two moves, but
I don't know. I think Mappa's only good doing like Sane and stuff. Like I wouldn't be mad if they did a Berserk, but I don't like Berserk because Berserk sucks.
yeah, I don't. I think Mappa is starting to become like too overexposed, where like there's
Exactly.
too much
Yeah.
stuff that Mappa's doing that the style is becoming old fast. It looks good. Don't get me wrong. JJK
That's what I'm
season 2
saying.
looks good, but at the
it's
same
getting old
time, it's
fast.
gonna get to a point where it's like it's not gonna look good anymore because we've seen it.
You know what You know what it reminds me of? There was like an old age of anime in like 2007, 2008 where everybody's eyes looked fucking weird.
Yeah.
They just looked, and then it was
Wide-eyed.
so over processed. No, it wasn't wide eyed.
Yeah.
It was like vertically eyed. It was like
like
eyes,
Clannad,
yeah, like Clannad,
eyes.
or like or like High School Days, like shows like that.
Mm-hmm.
They really emphasized those eyes, and it just became so fucking mainstream, and it pissed everybody off that it just reverted back. It just reverted to like regular eyes again. So it's like, I think that's what we're getting with the Mappa effect. Where
Well, and
everyone's
if you think about it too, like early 2010s anime, if you go watch early 2010s anime, like just any random 2010s anime, it all looks the same.
exactly.
They all have like the same animation style that they just copied off of. I think they copied off of like Kyoto Productions, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I think A Studios did also a lot of stuff. What was that? The A, not A23. They had a lot of old
Aniplex?
animations, not Aniplex. The same people that did Your Lie in April. They used to do like old anime as well.
He didn't watch Your Lie in April.
Yeah, I'll just look it up.
Even though I was
I think it's like A23 Studios.
Isn't that the
RJ.
A24 thing? A1 Pictures.
A1 Pictures, I think. A1
Yeah.
Pictures used to do a lot of old stuff too. They're doing Solo Leveling. What the hell,
They are?
bro? They be doing Slice of Life. What are they doing?
Oh, they're doing Blue Exorcist, I think.
I'm sure my
Oh, yeah,
keyboard's
they do a
loud.
bunch of Yeah,
phone, bro.
It's loud as hell. It's loud as hell.
Almost been on this phone for like 10 minutes talking about me typing
Nah, because
studios.
no, wait, no, because it wasn't then. I said it before in the chat. Like, yo, stop typing. I was just looking up on my phone. It's so bad.
Well, it's been
It's okay. It's fine.
been
It's not a
fine.
big deal. It's okay. But what were you talking about? A23 Studios.
A1.
It's
A1
A1
Studios.
Pictures. A1 Pictures.
A23 isn't A23
A20, it's A24. It's like the
A24.
movie one.
fuck me. Never mind.
Damn, A1 did. Damn, what the hell?
They do a lot of
that show?
romance.
They did Darling in the Franxx. Hell no, I hate that show.
Yeah. Darling in the Franks.
No, but I mean,
Is there a lot of French guys in that one?
what?
Is there a lot of French people in that?
No, Franks is spelled FRANXX. I think
They
it's two
actually do a lot of
X's.
stuff. Whoa, they
What?
did the.
It's a mecha anime.
Oh, Darling in the Franxx, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
That's
mecha.
crazy.
it's one of those ones like a girl's like the main pilot, and then it's like I need a bitch boy to like be my side pilot. Is what I got from it.
Evangelistic.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm gonna say something. Oh, I was gonna say like, yeah, I think like I don't know, Mappa just like all their
They're
anime
serializing
just
everything.
like all their anime just like have the same style. So like you see one Mappa anime, you see them all, and like
Yeah.
I wasn't like one of those like big fat nerds online when AOT final season came out. Like I can't believe they did the Titans in CGI. Oh my god, ruined the show. But like
They need
at a
to.
certain point, it kind of looked shit. I'm not gonna lie. Compared to what Wit did, like you watch like when the Beast Titan first walks into the show, compared to like when he's fighting in Marley, and it's like, yikes! Like
They don't know how to budget right. That's the issue. You have this insane scene with Levi, and then you like I get it. The Colossal Titan has to be CGI because it has too many like blood vessels for you to kind of like draw and manage. Like they had the same issue with Perfect Cell during Dragon Ball Z, and it took them like half a year to just into the fight scene. And that's why you get all those like repetitive moves in Dragon Ball of them just fighting back and forth for like a whole episode. But Attack on Titan, like they split them apart so much, and I think it really let people down when how not actually how bad it looked, but how bad some instances looked. I don't know.
like
I didn't like the ending.
that Levi scene was not that good.
I got to be completely honest, boys. I like the beginning part of Attack on Titan. I didn't like the last part.
That's what I'm saying. Season 1 to 3 of Attack on Titan was probably one of my
What do you
favorites.
what do you
Like,
consider
I-
the last part?
Like,
After season
Ever-
3 is what I'm talking about.
yes.
So,
Yeah,
so
like,
and
when
let's
Mappa
have it
came
right-
out.
directly after the time, like directly during like the time skip. Like everything after the time skip, I don't like. Like throw that shit out the window. I don't
Yeah.
like history repeating itself like that, except
I-
if it's One Piece.
Yeah.
Of course,
I
we
think-
saw.
It's just
I
like
think, no, I think it's a respectable claim because I'm not saying I don't like it. Obviously, I watched it, I enjoyed it, but not to the same degree that I enjoyed season 1 through 3. And I think that there was something about Wit Studios that really played a big part in me enjoying it. And I think that
I don't think it was the animation.
even
for
though
me.
it is kind of seinen, I did not like how Mappa animated the last like 15 fucking parts.
Yeah, it wasn't really about the anime to me. It was about the story. Like,
Because I
to be
like the manga
completely
a lot.
honest, okay. So when I first got into Attack on Titan, I was maybe like 15, and I was like really loosely watching it because it was just something to watch on TV. I think I was on like Hulu one night in the basement, and I just put it on. But what ended up happening was like I like watched the first 3 seasons and then I like saw the last couple of seasons, and it wasn't even about the animation for me. It was kind of just like the story. Like, I think it was completely useless the fact that Aaron was doing all of that. Like,
Okay,
he didn't need to. He didn't need to.
I like.
I just
the
don't
story.
like
think
the
it's
I just don't like
animation.
the ending. Like that's my only gripe. I think
That's everyone's
whole
gripe. The ending
I didn't-
sucked.
I think
I
the
didn't
whole
like the
story
story.
overall was like great because
The story was
I-
good.
I think this whole
Appa fucked it up.
revenge arc for Aaron was just a really bad look.
Well, it wasn't really a
but
revenge.
yeah,
It was,
I was gonna say it's not like revenge. It's more
Then
like
what-
he's
you're
trying to set
wiping
up
out
his
the
people
entire
for a
world.
better future.
You're wiping out the entire world, though,
But okay, but what was his like main purpose for wiping out the world?
because people were attacking him in his country, or something like that.
Because
Okay,
he wanted.
but do you see me wanting to wipe out the whole world because Israel's
Omar.
doing shit to Palestine? Like, it
Omar.
doesn't make sense. There's no
We're-
actual
we're-
correlation.
Omar,
to
he
it.
goes
Anime
into the
podcast is
flashbacks.
political.
He goes
We
into the
talked about it before.
flashbacks. Omar,
Sorry.
okay, listen.
Okay,
He
I'm sorry.
goes into the flashbacks, or he goes into the minds of Armin, Mikasa, all of them who are gonna kill him in the final part, to tell them how to kill him, and that they'll remember all this shit once he dies. Because the whole point is he's gonna wipe out the world to make him the enemy, to take the hate off of all Eldians and put it onto Eren Yeager himself. So then when the Eldians who stand against Eren Yeager take down Eren Yeager, the world will then see Eldians in a better light. The ending just did not
Okay, I
execute
can
as well as
understand.
say
He
something
pulled-
like
he-
Code Geass.
Code Geass. He pulled the Code Geass. It just didn't feel the same because bro
I
turned
can
into a bird
understand
and no
that.
one liked how Jean ended up with Mikasa. Bang bang, done done. No one likes the ending because it sucked. It was a Code
agree
Geass
with that,
reskin, and that's all it was.
Yeah, no, definitely, I can agree with that. I didn't like the ending, just as you described it, but like that makes a lot more sense than what I was.
I think Mikasa and Eren needed that bond, and they
Yeah.
didn't give it to them. That whole manga, they didn't give it to them. That whole manga, and I get it. I guess they didn't want romance in it, but it was like this tension that kind of sucked. And I think that's all it needed. And I think that whole scene with Armin and Eren crying, saying that I don't want her to move. I think that should have been Mikasa and Eren there. Now, why is Armin there, bro? You returned into a cookie. You should have stayed a cookie.
Because he's the wingman.
I don't care.
He was always the second guy, bro.
He's like,
Not
hey
rocking
man,
with
why
bro.
couldn't you help me
He-
slide
we
in
thought
that
he was
bitch
a
before I
girl,
die?
Wasn't rocking with bro. He should go like chill with Annie or something.
Yeah, didn't he want like Annie like that?
Well, he liked Annie because of Berthold's like memories. Because once you absorb the Titan,
Oh,
those
that's
kind of like
crazy.
those same feelings kind of like led on to. That's why when she was frozen, he kept checking on her. Because remember, Berthold was like not obsessed with Annie, but he was like he kind of like he liked Annie
He
a lot.
felt protective of her.
Wouldn't that be crazy if we heard like an inner monologue from Armin? He's like, I don't know why I am so attracted to Annie. She's so ugly. Like some shit like
Why
that.
the
Like
fuck am I
That'd be
attracted?
funny. Now it's funny when the theories in OG like Attack on Titan were like they thought that the female Titan was Armin's mom because she stopped and didn't kill him. I'll never forget that on Reddit. It was like everyone thought it was everyone literally thought that the female Titan was Armin's mom.
did we ever even meet Armin's parents?
No,
Nah, he lived with his grandparents, didn't he?
bro. Was
I don't even remember who the hell we lived with because I feel
He
like
had like he like, and then he like had the book and shit and he was looking at her like, yo, this is just on the outside.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
I
another
miss
thing Wit
I miss
Studio
the
does-
days when that goal was so much more simpler and like
That's but it had to be different.
I don't.
That's what it takes. It takes the child's view of the outside. in a dystopian world, and then it kind of like just rumbles it. No pun intended.
Right. So why didn't they just blame like the whole like I don't want to say the civilians
They off screened
included.
it. They off
No,
screened that whole time. That I don't like. That's what I didn't like. How they kind of off screened and were like, "These are our enemies now." Like, shut your bitch ass up, Troy. Like,
I want at least some like actual reason in the beginning on why they're being attacked by Titans if they were had human contact, right?
but we know
the
this.
first 3 seasons we found out that the Titans were actually human, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, I didn't find that. I thought it should have just been like some supernatural thing. Eventually, I thought it would be like
No, it made perfectly sense. It made perfect sense. The world pretty much entrapped these people who they deemed were the scum of the earth, and sent their creations after them to keep them solid into one place and to never let go. And then that created this buzz within the main protagonist, in which he decided that, oh shit, I can turn this whole thing around on them to save my people, and then also make them look like the hero when they take everything down. So I think it's a good story. I just think that the ending in which they made in the anime and in the manga was too Code Geass. Like, I just didn't like the repetitiveness.
Yeah, and he
understand
changed it so it all repeats, so it's not like an exact copy of Code Geass, but in turn it makes the ending kind of suck because it's like, why did I just watch all those episodes if it's just gonna repeat itself?
Yeah, and then you kind of see like the bombs, like the airplanes come down to like, I'm like, brother, this guy stinks. Like,
And also, it has to be humans
Like, that was
more
for
because it would make
absolutely no
zero
reason.
sense how like Aaron gets Titan powers.
yeah, no, I think it did.
It did make
If
sense.
It was like if it was like supernatural though, you know.
I like how they got it. I mean, the dad met the original Attack Titan, and then all that stuff happened, and then pretty much Aaron gets the memories back. And he's like, "Yo, I ate my dad. What the hell?"
And he's like, I actually pushed my dad to eat someone before I was even born.
That's crazy to me.
Nah, when he wakes up in his bunk and he realizes that like he ate his dad, I was like, "Damn, bro, you ate your dad."
I was gonna say like with Wit
It's
too,
your fault. You killed your father.
with Wit Studio too, like even in Vinland Saga season 1, I'm pretty sure they did that right.
What
Yeah, they
studio? I thought Mappa did it.
No, they did it because the intro for season 1's that motorcycle shit for Wit.
Yeah,
They know how to create atmosphere.
Ambience. They create ambience
Yeah.
within the anime, and that's
Like
what Mappa
the
cannot do.
background, the sounds, like just the environment.
Let me search up their body of work.
Oh, they have like Rankings of Kings, amazing show.
I love Ranking of King.
The Great Pretender, I know they do. Another great
They
show
did
on
Seraph at the
Netflix.
End. Oh shit, I love Seraph at the End.
Yeah,
they did the Agent Magus Bride. Seraph at the End.
I always try to watch Wit Studio animes if I have the chance.
Ranking of King. I love Ranking of King so much. They do Spy X Family. What the hell? But they do it with Cloverworks.
Yeah. And the thing with Ranking of Kings is like Wit Studio using a whole different like animation style and still succeeding, which I think just shows how good of like a studio they are. Because have Mappa do Ranking of Kings, they're gonna do fucking. It's gonna be like Ranking of Kings with Chainsaw over it, like Chainsaw Man. Yeah.
That's gonna suck. They're gonna make King Boji like 6 feet tall.
and then like their problem is budgeting, like just like you said, because then they fumble Hell's Paradise in a way. Like I like the anime, but like they kind of like didn't really put as much effort as they could have into that.
That last episode was good though. You can't even lie.
Yeah, like
No, yeah,
I liked it overall. It just like from the like manga people, I guess it just made it look like it was supposed to be like much better, I guess. But I haven't read the manga at all, so
Yeah, no, I agree. I haven't read the manga like that. And,
yeah. I feel was it? I'm trying to think like what other show was it Chainsaw Man that was premiered when Hell's Paradise was coming out? I don't think so. Because I remember it was like this show, like people were like Hell's Paradise got like downgraded because a different show was coming out. Let me look. I think it was fall of spring 2023. Oh, was that Vinland? No, that's too early for Vinland. What was coming out that they were making?
Wait for who? What?
For Mappa. I felt like someone said like I felt like people
Bubbles?
were talking about
They did Bubbles, right? Didn't they do Bubbles? Oh, that movie.
Bubbles. What the fuck?
Yeah, Mappa did Bubbles, the movie Bubbles. Spring 2023.
yeah.
Come on, get winner up.
Bubbles.
Oh no, because
The typing.
Oh, what studios did it? Never mind. I always be confusing what studios and Mappa.
You're gonna make Omar have like a seizure over here.
No, the typing is just horrible. I don't know what it is.
It's not even that
me
bad.
too.
It's a
No,
looped
I
keyboard.
listened back.
My keyboard is just looped to perfection.
All right,
Why
everybody.
not?
That's the end of our show.
it's just
Thank you
no
guys for
keyboard swag.
tuning
This
in.
bro does not know how to build a keyboard.
Excuse me, I have a spare one that I built. F you.
Yeah, you built.
I literally did actually because I took it apart and then put
You
it
took
back
off the
together.
keycaps.
Yeah,
The keycaps.
that's my definition of
That's like putting the icing on a cake. I fucking made the cake.
it.
Yeah, cake boss with all
to
the
my
PVC pipe and
defense.
shit.
To my defense, it was already in place. It wasn't like an incomplete keyboard. I was just bored one day and decided to go, oh, yeah, let me just finish this. All right, guys, that's the end of our show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Appreciate everybody. F you, RJ. No, I'm playing. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for doing that. And we shall see you later.